Hello and welcome to Animal Nonsense.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
My theme for today is animals that are in the Nativity story.
Oh, okay. Delightful.
So we're not talking Christmas songs, we're talking Christmas religious hymns.
Okay.
Which one of them do you remember referencing animals? And I have some clues for you should you require them.
Does Away in a Manger? The cattle are lowing, aren't they? They're lowing.
That's exactly right. The cattle are lowing. And
the baby awakes.
So I'm really all over the place. Hang on. Yes, the cattle are lowing. And
welcome to my world.
Okay, can you think of any more? So we're looking for religious hymns that reference animals.
I feel like there's a really obvious one that I'm not. Is that A Little Town of Bethlehem?
No, we've got... So this one is While Shepherds...
While Shepherds Watch Their Flocks by Night. That's it.
It explains the story of the messenger angel reporting the arrival of baby Jesus to some shepherds. Once in Royal David City. Can you remember the very next line?
Stood a lowly cattle shed.
Yes, bingo.
This is really forcing me to think back to primary school.
It was written by another Irish writer, Cecil Frances Alexander, in 1848. She was born... Isn't it interesting? Once in Royal David City is written by a woman. I didn't know that.
No.
Like, it just doesn't... If women do stuff, it doesn't get reported on by history.
No.
And in addition to writing beautiful music, she founded a school for children with hearing difficulties.
Oh.
When you think of a nativity, what animals are in a regular nativity to you?
Well, obviously the donkey is there. The lowing cattle is there. And then the sheep.
Well, now the irony is that no animals are referred to in the nativity story in the Bible at all.
Are they not? Well, obviously the donkey that she rode on.
Well, let's find out.
It goes somewhere. Doesn't Spanish.
Well, only the Gospels of Luke and Matthew refer to Jesus' birth. Mark and John cut straight to adulthood. The first animal you might expect to see is the donkey. But Mary did not ride a donkey on her long journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem, as far as we know. The whole journey is described in 3 lines. Joseph and Mary went to Bethlehem, and while they were there, she went into labour. Like, no animal transportation was referred to at all.
So where did the donkey idea come from?
Well, later on in life, and certainly the resurrection story, donkeys play quite a key role. And this is a theme that recurs throughout this episode. A lot of what we know of Jesus' later life, people have plonked onto the nativity when it wasn't actually referred to in it.
Okay.
But, right, what about the shepherds? Now, the shepherds are referred to, but it only says the shepherds themselves went, the humans.
Yeah.
It never refers to sheep. And why would they take sheep with them?
Well, it would be quite... it would slow you down. And it would be quite unwieldy, wouldn't it, doing a journey with like 100 sheep.
Are actually
Can
referred
we
to.
also just comment on the fact that when you've had a baby, you don't want a ton of people just dropping in on you. That's the last thing you want, especially a flock of sheep. No new parent needs that in their life. I'm sorry. I speak from experience. No one needs that. Especially like a lot of random men. Like, you're there trying to probably get the hang of breastfeeding, and these shepherds and kings turn up, and you just need some alone time.
And why would a shepherd be interested? Really?
No. My first week after giving birth was so hectic. They woke up every hour on the hour. They didn't feed at the same time. I know I had 2, but I was constantly had one, if not both out. You just don't need extra eyes on you at that time.
Especially not some shepherds.
Not some random king.
I don't know why the angel said that. actually, particularly why she got involved with the shepherds on the hill.
The
I don't
angel
know.
gave them a bum steer with that one.
In Luke, it does not state that Jesus was born in a barn, nor are any animals referred to. Only the word manger is used. That's our only link to animals in the entire Nativity.
Really? Okay.
And because mangers was a feeding trough. And in Matthew, it states that Jesus was born in a house. But
why would there wouldn't be a feeding trough in a house, would there?
Well, oddly enough, there might well be. Because in this era, in this region, most homes were mixed-use spaces where animals like sheep or cattle lived and had eating quarters with people.
In the living room.
Yeah. It was the norm at that time. They did not dwell in different premises because the animals were probably the most expensive things you owned.
Yeah.
You wanted to keep your eye on them. You wanted to keep them close.
Nightmare to keep your house clean, those.
Yeah, it really would be. It does lead us to the question as to why are animals so closely associated with the nativity then?
Is it so that little children have something super cute to dress up as for their school play?
Well, that's a really useful point, that actually children are drawn to the birth of baby Jesus because they are youths, he's a youth. It's kind of like a lot of people's first entry into the religion, I guess. The nativity story.
I mean, little kids love baby dolls, don't they? And
although you say that, last year on Christmas Eve, I went to a service, right, at a church. And to do it, the minister, she had kids in the audience come forward to lay out the nativity scene. And she got a little girl on the front row. She was asked for volunteers. The little girl was real keen, her hands up right away. The minister handed over like a baby doll and said, little girl, right, now, do you mind putting baby Jesus in the manger?
Yeah.
And she took 3 steps forward and just
chucked it.
Dropped it like a potato. And baby Jesus' head cracked on the side of the wooden manger and just rolled.
Oh, the head came off. Oh no.
And it got like a real, like, even though everyone knew it wasn't real, it got a...
Did they gasp? How funny.
But the little girl looked round, not remotely aware of what she'd done wrong. Like, because she had totally fulfilled the brief. She was told to put the baby doll in the manger, and she did. Like, she didn't do it wrong, but it maybe wasn't
maybe one to keep an eye on for the future.
Don't let her put her baby brother to bed. Oh yeah, sorry. You mentioned about animals. You mentioned about animals in relation.
Yes. Kind of the point of what we're doing here.
The earliest known layout of a nativity in physical objects was from the 4th century, and it contained an ox and a donkey, and they're seen as relatable creatures of everyday life. Other animals you might reasonably expect to see in a nativity that might have been there on the day but are not normally included.
I'm going to guess chickens. Most people would have had chickens, I'd imagine.
Chickens would have been very big. Camels in that region.
Well, and also the 3 wise men come on camel, don't they?
Well, not that we know of.
Well, not that we don't, but we just assume, don't we?
Also, we don't
actually. They're depicted on camels.
And also, without wishing to throw things further, we don't actually know that there were 3 men. We only know that there were 3 gifts. It could have been one man with a big bag.
Oh, okay.
It's been assumed over the years that 3 gifts, 3 men. Everyone brings one gift. Yeah, we don't really know. Gosh. Another one which would have been really common, and I've never seen in a nativity, cats.
Okay, yeah.
Because they would have been keep the rodent population down.
Were cats not quite associated with witchcraft?
Like, yes, they were, but not particularly in that region at this point.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that cats aren't depicted at being at the birth of baby Jesus is that they wouldn't really give a
That's so true. They just wouldn't care, would they?
And so
they just go and sit in the manger.
They're represented differently in nativities depending on where you are in the world. In Italy, a dog is normally depicted, which is perfectly reasonable because if you're believing that there are shepherds, most shepherds have a dog.
Yeah.
And a dog is much more believable than a sheep because a sheep's a pain in the to traipse across Israel.
Yeah.
A dog would walk alongside you.
Also, you wouldn't really have like a sheep, would you? You'd have like a whole flock of them. You'd feasibly just have 1 or 2 dogs.
In South American scenes, they have llamas and alpacas instead of sheep because both provide wool and are common in those regions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is rumoured that the reason that they're included is it was a translation error from sheep to like an animal with wool.
Yeah.
And so now they're always depicted. There are certain regions of Africa where you might have a zebra or a giraffe or a lion depicted because they're symbols of respect rather than the likelihood of them being there.
Yeah, okay.
And so in other cultures, it becomes a lot more about if an animal is important to you, you include it. The relationship to animals in the Nativity story has grown, and now they're like irremovably linked from each other. And my favourite carol is In the Bleak Midwinter, which was written by Christina Georgina Rossetti. There's a really, really lovely last verse, and the what can I give him poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part, yet what can I give him? Give my heart. Isn't that really lovely?
That's really nice, yeah.
But the Bible does not refer to a lamb being there, nor in December is there likely to have been a lamb there.
No, that's very true.
But it does reinforce the helpful notion that God did not install Jesus as an emperor or a military ruler of men, but a kind of regular one.
Yeah.
But it was regular at the time for animals and humans to cohabit. But as the years have rolled by and that's not the case, regular has become viewed as impoverished, which I don't think it was intended to be.
Okay.
It's moved. But there were no cattle, oxen, sheep or donkey named in the Bible at the birth of Christ, as far as we know.
But there is often the lambs and flocks are often referred to biblically. People are referred to as the flock, aren't they? And as lambs.
That's where a lot of the rhetoric around sheep and the nativity comes from, because later in his life, Jesus is routinely referring to people as his flock.
Yeah.
And so people have just assumed, oh, sheep are a big deal to him. And let's,
sheep are a big deal to him.
I want you to remember how you felt right after giving birth. In reality, if you were Mary on that night, it would have been awful. Imagine you are her. You've given birth to your first child. You've travelled 90 miles from Nazareth to Bethlehem.
And also, we're saying she did that on foot now, are we?
Apparently she did it on foot.
No pregnant woman is walking 90 miles.
In more than 4 days.
Ridiculous.
You're refused entry at the inn. In a mixed-use animal and human dwelling, there are more than likely to have been over 20 rather annoying insects, including a red-veined dropwing and a common 3-ring wingtail. All of these are liable to bite and leave at best a red mark, and at worst give you short-term hallucinations.
God.
You have a cow. A cow can poo around 15 times a day, especially in hot temperatures and in enormous vast quantities. That's not nice after you've just given birth.
No.
You have a sheep. A sheep urinates 8 to 11 times a day. If there had been a donkey and their hooves are not clipped or cared for, they're liable to kick rudely, and even if they did not make contact with you, an uncomfortable hoof might cause a donkey to bray repeatedly and excessively at a volume of 110 decibels for hours.
I was going to say, they are loud donkeys.
Well, 110 decibels is the noise of 100 car horns all going off at once.
Oh my God.
And on top of that, the baby's crying. You've not had any rest. And the angel, for reasons of her own, has decided what you need right now is all of the local shepherd men to come and have a look at you right after you've given birth.
Oh, hideous.
And I don't really know if for Mary this night is working out.
So not. Do you know what though? Birth is such a wild, chaotic experience anyway. Maybe she just embraced the chaos and what was a little bit more chaos.
Also, she'd had an unusual pregnancy.
She had an unusual pregnancy.
Quite
Maybe
ready.
The good Lord did her a solid and made it a relatively painless birthing experience.
Wouldn't one love to hope so?
You would hope so.
I really, really hope so. So animals and the Christmas story are very, very important to each other. Thank you, and join us for more animal nonsense.
Think of that next time you're looking at your nativity scene.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.